Maurice Frydman was a genius out of the ordinary. He was born in a Jewish ghetto in Poland. He came from such a poor family that he tasted white bread only at the age of 13. He could read and write Russian, Hebrew, and Cyrillic by the age of 10 and could speak fluent Russian, Polish, French, English, and Hebrew. He stood first in his class right from his school days to the time he was a student of electrical engineering. Highly inventive, he had nearly 100 patents for his engineering inventions by the time he was just 20. At the age of 25, Maurice had a strong inner urge to seek God. In the process, he gave up Judaism and took to Russian Orthodoxy. He became a monk, leading an austere life in a solitary monastery. On one of the rare occasions he ventured out, he found himself on top of a mighty waterfall. Here, Satan tempted him by saying, "If you have real faith in Jesus Christ, and if you really love the church, jump into this waterfall." Maurice, very characteristically, jumped immediately into the deep chasm, wearing his monk's robe. Would Arunachala let him go away so soon? His robe got entangled in some of the shrubs on the precipice, and he was saved. Proof that when there is earnestness, a thirst to know the truth will guide us. All the orthodox dogmas he was practicing failed to lead him to the truth, and he became vexed. He sought freedom from bondage of every kind. This quest led him to the Theosophical Society and to Annie Besant. The meeting with J. Krishnamurti impressed him the most. All these meetings took place in 1926. Krishnamurti declared, "Truth is a pathless land, and that truth can be arrived at only by applying oneself diligently without being dependent on any kind of external authority." This approach appealed to Maurice, and he had lengthy dialogues on the subject with Krishnamurti. It is on record that Krishnamurti always obliged Maurice whenever he wanted to talk to him. Maurice had a seething desire to see God and know the truth, but all the while, from 1928 to 1934, he continued working in the electrical industry. He became the general manager of a well-known electrical goods manufacturing factory in France. Yet his aspiration to know the truth never left him, and he started reading the French and German translations of Vedantic treatises like the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita. 1935 proved to be the turning point in his spiritual life. This was when he started reading Paul Brunton's books. The teaching, "Who am I?" proved to be tremendously enlightening. The truth that exists within oneself rather than outside of the self made him turn within. Paul Brunton's books kindled his burning desire to visit India and meet the living sage Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. In all this, Providence guided him. The Divan of Mysore, a Divan is akin to the chief minister of a state or even the prime minister of a country, wanted to modernize his state and was touring Europe and England to learn more about the facilities available in these countries. One day, he visited the factory that Maurice was in charge of. He was so impressed by Maurice's sincerity, application, and hard work that he requested him, "Will you please come to our state and advise us on how to develop our state?" In the 1930s, India was in a very backward condition and technology had really not found a place here. Maurice shot back characteristically, "My bags are packed, sir. I am prepared to leave for India with you." That was Maurice. Maurice Frydman arrived in India, the country of his dreams, in 1935. He was put in charge of setting up a big electrical goods manufacturing factory since he was an expert in the field. His aspiration, however, was to meet Bhagavan. Despite his busy work schedule, he went to meet him. From the very first instance, he was prepared to surrender himself to Bhagavan. He would work day and night at the factory, so much so he became very successful within a short time. On weekends, he would go to Arunachala, where people would greet him with, "Here comes our Maurice." During his sojourn, he would talk to his friends and to Bhagavan, questioning Bhagavan often, and Bhagavan would patiently answer. Bhagavan was spontaneous and natural, reflecting you like a mirror. When someone was totally immersed in spirituality, he too responded by giving himself to them.
People in Ramanashramam commented on his frequent weekly visits. "Maurice, why do you not come once a month or maybe once in 2 months? You have to spend so much to come here." Maurice would reply, "What can I do? My battery can take only so much. Within a week it dries up. I have to come here every week to be in Bhagavan's presence and get it recharged." Maurice was very close and free with Bhagavan. He gathered as much as he could about Vedanta, had discussions with others, and read up as much as possible about the Hindu scriptures. He had heard that if one wanted final emancipation, one had to take sannyas. He approached Bhagavan and inquired, "Bhagavan, this is what the Hindu scriptures say. Will you please give me sannyas?" Bhagavan remained silent, but you know our dear Maurice. He was persistent in his appeal. One day he approached Bhagavan on the hill and said, "Bhagavan, give me sannyas. I want to renounce the world and strive towards enlightenment." Bhagavan, in a very compassionate tone, answered, "Sannyas is taken from within, not from without." Maurice's face fell at the response. Bhagavan, like a mother, looked at Maurice and explained, "You are already a sannyasin. Why do you want to take up ochre robes?" Maurice did not give up. He kept asking Bhagavan for sannyas, and Bhagavan kept telling him there is no need for sannyas. So what did Maurice with his ingenious, inventive brain do? He went to Swami Ramdas, a realized soul in Anandashram. Somehow he convinced Swami Ramdas to give him sannyas. Swami Ramdas gave him the outward sannyas that he so desperately desired. Maurice became close to Swami Ramdas. Once Swami Ramdas told him, "Maurice, Swami Bharatananda, this is your last birth." Being a great saint, he could see the spiritual merit of Maurice Frydman.